Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess first to Simon, what was the sort of feeling like being back in this Wallabies squad and sort of getting that victory on Saturday?
Yeah, big blessing to be back in with the boys, and yeah, it was kind of seamless just to come connect with all the boys, and to get the win on the weekend was a lot of hard work behind the scenes, not just with the players but a lot of the staff. You know, there's been a couple of months in the planning and that, so yeah, it was good to get a dub.
A lot of chaos with sort of Quade going down and sort of Tom Banks breaking his arm 20 minutes in. How do you sort of stay composed and sort of keep focused on the game plan?
I think it's big part of how we trained throughout the last couple of weeks beforehand. We tried a lot of different combinations, and the coaching staff really kept us on our toes with different guys slotting in different positions. So you know, we trust whoever's in the squad, and especially in that 23. Things like that will happen in a game, and Noah stepped up to the plate and done his job. It wasn't nothing special. It was just he knew exactly what he had to do. He's driven this team around well in the past couple of years. So yeah, it was again another seamless transition.
I guess what we've got you, Samu. I mean, the announcement this morning that you'd be playing the sort of Com Game Sevens side. Can you just kind of talk us through that decision and sort of what sort of the thinking and sort of discussion you had around Johnny with that?
Yeah, just got told this morning. So yeah, really again another blessing. Really honoured to be part of that Sevens squad again from last year and that. Yeah, had a lot of conversations with the Sevens program before coming back, and especially last year, that was a big reason why I came back to Australia was through the Sevens. You know, I didn't really have a lot of conversations with the 15s game, so to get another opportunity to put on that jersey on that Sevens game was going to be special.
Just sort of touching on that, you mentioned that sort of coming back to Australia was essentially as part of that Sevens program. Then you ended up going to Perth to join the Wallabies. How much sort of, I guess, how important is that sort of squad to you, and sort of getting you back into Australian rugby and getting you back into the setup in your mind?
Oh, they're very important to me. I think they hold a special part in my heart. You know, again, I was away for a long time, and for me to able to come back to Australia and put on a gold jersey was important to me. And even though it wasn't the 15s at the time, you know, they gave me that opportunity and welcomed me with open arms. So yeah, really special. And that was kind of the bond we made last year after the Olympics. You know, kind of gave them my word that if I was available, I'll definitely come back and try for the Com Games. And yeah, here we are.
Hey, Samu, just on continuing with that, and thanks, Angus, for being patient. Eddie Jones said last week or so that that Sevens had helped you out in terms of being fitter. Do you the time that you spent there, the preparation there? Do you think that had actually made you fitter and a better player by playing in the Sevens program?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And Eddie's Eddie's been around Suntory as well, and I give credit to Suntory. It's the way we play the game in Japan. It's a fast game, and fitness is an aspect where the Japanese boys are at a high level of it. So, you know, as a foreigner coming back in those pre-seasons, you want to be fit, you want to hit your targets because the whole team is doing it. You know, when you got props running 5-minute Bronco time. Yeah, as a back, you want to be hitting under that. So for myself, the transition to Sevens was really good because I came in with the injury, and again, to the credit to the Sevens program, they looked after me, but also got me in the right nick to play that game, and especially with the game plan. So yeah, definitely, even with the skill set part of the game, my passing, my tracking in defence. You know, I had a guy like Maurice Longbottom. I would try to track him after training sessions. You know, in the first couple of weeks, I'd be just catching thin air. So, you know, slowly I got better in that space, and in the Sevens game is really important.
And 6 years ago, you made your debut against England in Brisbane, and you've now developed into arguably being the best inside centre in the world. When you think about that and like your development as a player, but also the move from 13 to 12, how important is it having a big ball running 12 in the modern game
Um, oh look, I personally don't think I'm one of the best 12s at the moment. I think there's so much more that I need to grow in my game. But yeah, I guess for me playing 12, I get the ball a bit quicker. I'm closer to the action, so especially when if we're going backwards or anything, I pride myself on going forward. I pride myself on that physical part of the game. So when you got guys like Belly here going forward, you want to do the same in the backs. So yeah, that transition to 12 was just for me getting more touches on the ball. It's a lot easier on defence. Lenny's a great defender at 13. Guys like Hunter who can put on big shots and Parisi. So I'm real comfortable at 12 now. Yeah, the transition to 12 helps me with the comms to Lenny. I know what 13 needs. Been playing there, all through Super Rugby, I would play at 13, and when I step into the Wallabies jersey, I'll be at 12. So yeah, it's just definitely still a part of my game that I want to grow in terms of the passing and kicking, and yeah, I guess it's like you said with the bigger body at 12. I think just closer to the action.
Thank you.
Just going to say for Angus, I mean, getting that opening win against England, a lot of guys in the squad haven't had that taste of that success against Eddie Jones's men. How big is that just for confidence heading into this next couple of weeks?
Yeah, no, it was it's a pretty awesome win, I guess. As we said, we reviewed pretty hard. We came in with a plan. In some areas we didn't execute it, so still training this week will be really hard and has been really hard. And we just got to keep working on those little areas that we didn't get right. But overall, I guess you can always be pretty happy and pretty content with beating England in a first Test series. Yeah.
Angus, it seemed like the English, at least the English media, were thinking that the English pack would be able to do a number on this Wallaby side, and maybe they thought that because of November and missing Taniela and Alan and other players, and Samu obviously. Did it, from a personal perspective, were you pretty pleased that you were able to kind of defy those sort of critics, particularly when you went down losing Darcy?
No, I really don't really think about it. To be honest, it's about execution, and I guess around our plays, that team execution. I guess I was pretty unhappy with our set piece. Could be better. We're not here to be, I guess, even with England. We're here to dominate them, and we didn't quite get that right in areas. And I guess through certain things like the red card, it didn't obviously help, and we had players in different positions, but. No, we're going to bring another step up in intensity at the set piece, and we need to be better. But that stuff doesn't really bother me.
Did it frustrate you that the English guys really seemed like they tried to target Darcy and provoke him into doing something that maybe in hindsight he wish he hadn't?
No, I think that's just a part of rugby. Rugby's a physical sport, and you can get into altercations that sometimes you don't really want to get into. It's a physical sport, and sometimes someone will do something you don't like, and that's just on the individual depending on what they do, whether it happens legally or illegally. But yeah, it was a spare of the moment thing, and Darcy's obviously made a decision that through frustration. But I know Darcy's an unreal bloke, and he doesn't have that sort of streak in him at all. So we're behind Darcy, and we'll see what happens through the review.
Anything else?
Samu, can I ask what it is? Sorry, Samu. What is it about sevens that you like? What aspects of it attract you to the game? And have you thought about winning a medal and what that might mean to you?
Yeah, I think besides the actual rugby side, there's less people on the field that I got to try run through or run around. I'm definitely not running around anyone on that pitch, but I think it's the camaraderie, the squad, because it's so different to 15s. When you come in a 15 squad, Wallaby squad, there's about 500 guys here. You get on the bus, there's 2 buses, whereas sevens, I think it was the first bus trip, I was sitting there waiting for everyone else, and we only stacked up half the bus, and that was the squad. So you get real close with the guys, you get to know them really well, and obviously the sevens program's got the women's game that we support really well, so to have that interactions with different people in a different game. There's a lot of athletes there, and you can pick up a lot of things from other guys that can help you in the 15s. So that's what really attracts me to the sevens game. Is it can be less physical in certain aspects, but in other aspects of the game that you can really learn from with the skill set that those men and women's teams have.
As a ring-in or a marquee kind of player, do you feel? I mean, obviously these guys are that tight squad, and they go on a tour and a series and everything, and then you come in for an event like this. Is there how do they welcome you in? Is there ever a feeling that you're kind of coming in as a marquee player, or is it just kind of forgotten about, or do you get teased about it or anything like that?
Yeah, that's always on my mind, especially coming in last year into the squad. But I think for myself, when I come into the squad, I want to make sure they know I'm there to push for a spot, and I'm there to work hard. I think that was the biggest part of me coming in, was just making sure I put my head down, listen, have a glass half full. I'm not the best player in the world. I don't want to come in and think I know everything. I'm always willing to learn and listen to guys in the sevens program and the coaching staffs and get better. That's why I step into a game like sevens, because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for a big guy like me to have 5-7 meters beside me and having to track a guy that has great feet, that has great speed. So a part of it is me stepping into an uncomfortable zone that I want to overcome, and those boys have been nothing but welcoming for myself and the coaching staff, just there to support. Because if I make the squad or not, I'm just there to influence the boys in a positive way and give back a bit of knowledge that I've learned from the game.
Last couple of these.
And what would a medal mean
Sorry,
to you?
Tony, last couple, please, mate.
Sorry, what would a medal mean to you?
Yeah, I think not just for me, but the program. I understand how the program's toughed it out the last couple of years, and I think for myself is wanting to get a medal for the program more than just myself. Of course, it'd be special. Not a lot of guys in 15 get to transition over to sevens and try to win an Olympic gold medal or a Commonwealth gold medal. I think it's pretty important and something that I'll look back and be happy with that. I gave it a crack. But yeah, it's more for myself. I think that the program deserves a medal. Those boys work extremely hard. The coaching staff and everyone involved with sevens, they work extremely hard to get that program going every year. So yeah, we definitely want to win it for that.
Angus, can I just ask lastly, from my perspective, Taniela, there's a fair bit of talk that he'll come back. What kind of impact can a Taniela Tupou do at a Wallaby side?
I think we all know. Taniela's a beast. He's one of the world's best. He in every single facet of the game to do with front rowers and forwards, Taniela has a massive impact on. So I'm sure he'll, if he does get picked, he'll do a job. And just like our other tight ends, we've got world-class tight ends everywhere. So the job doesn't change.